Welcome to my little shop of wonders. I am the shopkeeper. Please sit, try the tea. It's brewed from a mushroom that grows on the skin of wetland trolls. I know it sounds disgusting, but you'll find it has a rich flavor evocative of hazelnuts and brie, and it's remarkably refreshing. Well, let's get down to business then. Your letter expressed an interest in an enchanted sword, either a Flametongue or a Frostbrand. We have both in stock, but if you'll bear with me, we pride ourselves in fully educating our clientele before they make any purchases. We find this arrangement works best for everyone. Now, there isn't much to say about the Flametongue. It functions as a normal sword until its wielder wills it to ignite. Once lit, it radiates a flame that's powerful enough to kill a man with one stroke, but this sword is absolutely not for everybody. If your profession relies on stealth, this blade will be a poor fit for you. When activated, it gives off a lot of light. It's a noisy weapon that crackles when still, roars when swung, and hisses when it strikes flesh and blood. Guard beasts are very quick to smell the odors of cooking flesh, not to mention any smoke caused by incidental fires this blade may ignite. This is a weapon meant for a full assault, not infiltration. Could you excuse me for a moment? It's feeding time. Where were we? Most people think that Frostbrands are simply the cold version of the Flametongue, that it's sort of its opposite, but that's not quite right. While magic certainly makes it possible for a sword to radiate cold or darkness or fear, or any number of things that don't actually radiate in standard physics, a very cold sword fails on a mechanical level. For starters, it just wouldn't be that effective. According to Mark Barton, a PhD in physics at the University of Queensland, even touching an object with a temperature of absolute zero wouldn't be very much different from touching liquid helium. It would certainly cause frostbite in seconds, but frostbrands are far more lethal than frostbite. And I'm not even getting into all the drawbacks that a cold-based weapon like that would have. I'm sure you know it's very easy to cut through a steak with a knife, but cutting a frozen steak with a knife is next to impossible. Freezing a thing as you try to cut into it is simply poor design. And freezing after the cut isn't really any better. Pulling a rapier out of a wound that has been frozen solid would be like pulling a sword from a stone. While a slashing blade may never get stuck inside a frozen wound, it would still be covered with blood and bits of flesh in no time, ruining the cutting action and throwing off the blade's balance. Of course, such blood-freezing weapons may exist. Arrows and daggers that freeze themselves into wounds would be a nasty way of incapacitating an enemy. But that just isn't how frostbrands work. No, the secret of the frostbrand is all in the timing and the nature of coldness itself. As a frostbrand strikes its target, it works as a normal sword. But as it's being drawn away, it takes its target's heat with it. Not simply through the point of contact, but from the entire body, causing hypothermia. This ability to steal heat is how a frostbrand gives its wielder fire resistance, and how it can extinguish all flames within 30 feet of it when it's drawn. In every case, the sword acts as a heat vampire, absorbing large amounts of heat from its surrounding area. So in a way, the Frostbrand actually is the opposite of the Flametongue, as one gives off heat and the other absorbs it. A little bit of a side note here, both blades are useful in survival situations. Being able to start a fire quickly can save life and limb in subarctic conditions. And chopping meat and vegetables with a Frostbrand can effectively refrigerate them, allowing you to stretch your provisions a lot longer than you normally would. Well, I've talked your ear off and given you a lot to think about. Take the night to make your decision. These blades will still be here in the morning. And for you, faithful viewer, if you've liked this cartoon, please like and subscribe to the channel. Consider visiting us on Facebook or making a donation to my GoFundMe campaign. The links for both of those are in the description below. As always, thanks for watching.